There is a part about the surprises as well.
Yeah.
That I would say it's really, really also been ruined by wrestling news sites.
Right.
Reporting every sort of Jordan Grace is in the Royal Rumble. She's signed with WWE.
Okay.
And so when they bring her out, they're like, the worst kept secret in. And I mean, look, I am terminally, if you like, wrestling online.
Yeah.
And, I do see it. But, Trish Stratus was there. Joe Hendry was there in all the news reports. Charlotte was there about, she's going to come back and win.
Yeah.
There was, lots of people going, Alexa Bliss is coming back. There was a little thing where Dave Meltzer had done a report effectively saying Alexa Bliss, they are at the moment too far apart on money.
Right.
So at the moment, she's not coming back. And when she came out to a rapturous response, again, that is, wrestling loves the comeback.
Yeah.
They love to go,
Yeah.
she's back, she's back, she's back. 2 weeks from now, are you going to want to see her wrestle?
No. I mean, when she came in, I was like, because you went away, we've got a Morgan.
Yeah,
like,
that's it.
she's kind of been, and then I'm like, right, so what are you coming back to do?
Yeah.
Is some spooky stuff in it.
That's it.
You just look at the doll and you got spooky stuff.
It's like Liv Morgan. It's like they've got two twins. And Liv Morgan, they've gone, what if you were a bad girl? And they've gone to Alexa Bliss. They go, what if you died and then came back as a ghost? And that's the two twins who are there.
I think they did meet at one point in the ring, but it cut away. And I think one went to knee the other one in the head.
Yeah.
And it was like, they could have made more of that.
Yeah.
Because that seemed like an obvious thing to do.
They had a really, really bad hit rate for going, look at these two people facing off. You know you want to see them. Especially in the Women's Rumble, where they had Io Sky facing off against Julia. They had Julia facing off against Stephanie Vaquer.
Yeah.
And they had NXT women versus WWE women.
Okay, right.
Bailey, Bianca, and I can't remember the other one, against, some of the girls from NXT, Julia. And there was no reaction any time.
Yeah.
And I did sort of look at that and I did go, you Indianapolis pigs, you have cost us all of those matches at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
They're just going to go, nobody wants to see it.
No, yeah.
Julia herself seemed amazingly over with the crowd, which was really real surprise to me.
Even though it was sort of booked that, like, Jordan Grace, like, she's got the hair of the Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah, she has.
Why isn't she? Because she went for a little while, and I was like, why isn't she fucking winning this thing?
Yeah.
Like, what's the point of putting the strap on blooming Charlotte Flair?
Absolutely.
What is the point?
I mean, I did like the graphic of Charlotte Flair underneath. It looked entirely different from the woman who then appeared.
Yes,
that was
so weird.
She has basically gone somewhere and gone, I would like, obviously a little bit of procedure done.
Yeah.
Here's a picture of Alundra Blaze. I'd like to look exactly like this now. She is a great performer, Charlotte Flair.
Yeah.
Do I need to see her in WrestleMania?
Is she
Like
the
in the main
future?
event, winning
No.
the Rumble?
No.
I don't know.
No.
Would I have been happier if it was Lash Legend? Yes, I would.
Yes,
Like
I
Lash
would.
Legend.
Yes, we like Lash Legend, don't we? Yeah.
Stephanie McMahon also was the sort of surprise pop, and we can't keep having every big event. They go, ladies and gentlemen, to welcome you to the Royal Rumble. Either Triple H or Stephanie McMahon. And clearly Triple H had watched our Netflix video and he was like, I'm going to take a little step back from this one. But Stephanie McMahon came out and I'm not interested in being crass about this, but she had a sort of dowager's bust that was sort of, looked like Mae West coming out. And I was just, are you actually part of this company anymore? I don't, she might own some stock in the same way that I do. I don't get to go out there with my dowager's chest. And I did sort of go, does anyone need to see this person anymore?
No.
Can't we? Like Pat McAfee did the thing. He's from Indianapolis. He has his long career there.
Oh, God, yeah. Didn't we fucking know about it?
Why doesn't he
play
come out
football,
in
did you?
In the Lucas Oil Stadium.
I do like that stadium.
With the big window.
I love a big window stadium.
For a plane to come in.
Yeah. Wow.
They're not hiding the fact that it's an oil company, are they, Lucas Oil? They are.
Good on 'em.
They're not like Shell or Esso.
Good on them
cowards.
pretending they're environmentalists.
Yeah,
Come on, love it.
Loved it.
Love that.
The commentary team, they weren't on the greatest form, I didn't feel. But that was also because I think the Rumbles they didn't have sort of a great laid out structure, especially the women's Rumble.
Yeah,
and as you say, there were points where people just spent minute after minute after minute just lying in the corner until they stood up and then did something again.
Yeah.
She's been in competition. And Nikki and Nia squaring off.
All the people who came in at numbers 1 and 2, who were pretty much there at the end in the Women's Rumble, they didn't look exhausted in any way.
No.
And I know that's a sort of testament to how fit they are, but the reality is this is supposed to be the most grueling match you can do.
Yes.
And to sort of get to the end and you've got Charlotte versus Roxanne Perez, who came in at number 3.
Yeah.
And Roxanne Perez is just, full speed ahead.
Yeah.
It sort of the Rumble is a unique match that you can tell different stories than you normally would. And having that thing of people just going, they have been in for an hour and 10 minutes and they are still trying to claw their way. This was just like she'd come in at 30.
Yeah.
And there were just bits like that I think, as someone who has to look at this in a stupidly critical way, I was a bit like, oh, it could have been better.
Well, and especially this, like the sportification of this fucking pay-per-view sort of situation where most of the screen is sort of taken up by fucking stats, man.
Yeah.
They did my fucking nutting.
And they struggled as well. I mean, this has been going 8 years, but Zelina Vega came out and all they could say in her sort of Royal Rumble pedigree was lasted 20 minutes last year. And it's like 20 minutes. Everyone's done 20 minutes this year.
Yeah.
They've got, having to find stats about people who don't have stats. When Liv Morgan came out, by the way, she skipped down and she got to the sort of twist of the ramp and it thinned out there. There weren't as many people there as there were on other bits. Right. And she started blowing kisses. And it was just a single bearded middle-aged dad who was sitting there and he looked like his fucking dreams had come true. Absolutely overjoyed. I do like, if that's her new gimmick, I like it for reasons that are obvious.
They ain't going to get you this sort of seats we're buying, mate.
No.
She clambers up 3 different elevators.
I did notice as well that we've really entered the period of very fussy women's wrestling costumes as well.
Right.
Where everything's got ribbons and bells and zips and poppers and stuff like that. And there were sometimes like Julia came out and you were a little bit like, she looks like she's got the Christmas decorations box and just gone, going to put them all on and then go out. I enjoyed a lot of this.
Yeah.
I mean, the key thing for me in the women's Royal Rumble match was Chelsea Green. The single best professional wrestler in the world at the moment. She is absolutely, her entrance was perfect. She comes out and she's got a routine, which she does, and she acts her whole way down the aisle, and she comes in and she's legitimately funny. Yeah. She also, oddly, for such a big character, has gone, I will just go out wearing like ballet pants and a ballet top, and it doesn't need any bells and whistles. Yeah. This is watching a great professional wrestler, and that's what she is. Yep. I mean, I suppose there's an argument to say she's a bit like Jey Uso, where you sort of go, she's not the best in the ring, but oh my God, everything else she brings is just elite level. She was slapping people, and even the slaps were funny. Just an amazing thing. She also, after she'd slapped everyone, she looked at the WrestleMania sign, she pointed at it, she did a salute and a big wink at it, like a sort of like when Katy Perry was fun. Yes. I was just like, this is a character I could really get, I was going to say get behind, that sounds wrong. The character I could really sort of like, invest in. I think she was absolutely amazing. Sort of converse of that for me was the ladies in the Pure Fusion Collective. Again, what a shite name. Zoe Stark, Sonya Deville, and Shayna Baszler. When they originally formed a stable and it didn't have a name, people online began calling them the Lou Thespians.
Right, okay, I love that.
Which is much funnier.
Absolutely fine.
Stark came out, she does not know what her gimmick is. She had a children's party face paint on, trousers that were based on the Brian Kendricks jacket from about a decade ago, and a sort of glittery bra. And I was just like, what are you? What is this? I don't know what it is.
Desert box.
Shayna Baszler came out in basically a tracksuit.
I know that's kind of Baszler's thing, but it's like the wind of they're not going to hang out.
It was supposed to be like a Muay Thai, MMA, and it was just like, oh my God, they are gonna just go, you have to, you can't work here anymore.
You can't go on the boss like that. You can't go on the boss like that. You can't WrestleMania like that.
You looked shit. and then you had Sonya Deville as well, who's sort of going, I'm going to have a real leather thing and loads of busy hair, but also a little bit of makeup, and you're just like, oh my God, you're all in so much trouble. There was a great little bit of Sonya Deville as well, where she was fighting and she suddenly went, and fell to one knee. Right. And she looked behind, there was no one behind her. Oh. And she was really on her own when it happened. And I did think, how gentle are the wrestlers that you could mistake nothing for being hit. You're just like, I think I've been hit, and you go, actually, it turned out to be nothing. Yeah. I was like, wow, this is really impressive.
I mean, wait till Nia Jax gets in the ring, mate. Don't worry about it. she'll do someone a mystery.
Pull in here, Maxine Dupree came in. Again, someone who's got over by the fact that they've had such a rough time becoming a professional wrestler and aren't very good, and people have chosen to support her through it, which is sort of delightful. And again, a really difficult hard line to walk. I mean, what an amazing thing to do in a sport where people legitimately like someone because they aren't very good at the thing they've paid to see. I think it's just, that levels of wrestling is just amazing. We got Trish Stratus coming back. Cole said she's wearing the kit that she wore when she managed TNA.
Yeah.
He tried to make the and sound like an N.
Yeah.
The coward. It was T and A. TNA. Test and Albert. Tits and arse.
Yes.
In case you need help with that. Raquel Rodriguez came out and Barrett said the phrase. He went, "Big Mommy Cool in the house."
Oh, God. What's he doing? What's he doing?
Sick in my mouth.
Liv Morgan, who entered at number 2, finally has an ally. Raquel Rodriguez, for the second time in her career, is in the Rumble. Big Mommy Cool in the house.
Charlotte Flair then came out looking different, and you get all the stats. And that was Pyro Royal Rumble entrance. Damn, you've got to be a bit special for that.
His best one was later on where I think does someone toss Cody a beer, or there's a bit, or Cody smashes a beer into somebody.
Yeah,
and he goes, "Me next, Cody." It's so pathetic.
In the Women's Rumble, the word that he actually got strangulated on when he was talking about Trish Stratus was the word industry. And he sort of went, whoa, industry! It's amazing.
Barrett.
Oh, nice.
Get him on everything.
Yeah, and then we get your little Nikki Bella comes in at 30, and the world's saddest lady just made whole by the cheers of the wrestling group. I mean, we will never betray her. She needs to stay here. She came in and she just started doing her forearms, these thudding forearms that she did. And in 2016, when the Women's Evolution happened, there's a funny thing about Nikki Bella where she used to be all, silly, and she was a sort of Candice Michelle diva.
Right.
And in 2016, for some reason, maybe it was because Brie started going out with Bryan Danielson.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Daniel
Okay.
Bryan.
Right.
Nikki began sort of adopting some Japanese wrestling moves. And she became, like her sister, effectively the last proponent of strong style within WWE. And so her match, like with Ronda Rousey at Evolution, is phenomenal because Nikki Bella is just like vicious and like the hardest hitter. And so in 2016, she starts using this forearm, which is called the Bella Hammer.
Right.
And the online community of wrestling fans at the time were all like, this is like the best forearm since Mitsuharu Misawa, who was famous for his like rolling thunder sort of forearms. And for, laying those forearms in again and again and again and again and again in strong style matches. They've been going for a couple of weeks where they were just like, look at this fucking forearm. And on an episode of SmackDown, the commentator Mauro Ranallo, he did a line where he just went, Nikki with the Misawa-esque forearm. And they were all like, oh, he's heard us. He fucking heard us. And it started this hilarious thing about the legacy of Misawa, who died in the ring, being carried on by Nikki Bella. And the meme is a picture of Nikki Bella saying, did I do good, boss? And Misawa up in heaven saying, yes, queen, slay. And that whole thing of what termed Nikki Sawa is great. And she came out and she did it, and I was like, I forgot how much I love the fact that she comes out and she's the last person doing these absolutely killer forearms.
They're also watching live tonight in both Los Angeles and Dallas as part of the Cosm Live Interactive Experience. They're enjoying the Royal Rumble, and they all went nuts when Nikki Bella entered the Royal Rumble match at number 30. The return of Nikki Bella here tonight.
So there you go. Look, a bit of the Royal Rumble. Take it or leave it.
Yeah.
You go and watch it on your Netflix.
Yeah.
That's the key. And look, Pete, we have to end, don't we?
It's the road to WrestleMania. It's happening now.
And then we will end with a very solemn yeet.
Yeet.
Yeet.